Hello and welcome to another pantomime review, where today we're at the second biggest pantomime venue of the year. It's of course Birmingham at the Birmingham Hippodrome. Back for his 11th year is Mr. Matt Slack, joined by Andrew Ryan, Alison Hammond and Danny Mack, headlining this year's production of Peter Pan. This production made its debut last year at the London Palladium, and Birmingham have this beautiful set that is simply the most lavish and luxurious set in the whole of Pantoland. The lighting designed by Ben Cracknell is a work of art, and like last year's, feels surround. There's a certain glow about the lighting at the Hippodrome that just makes everything look magical. The lighting is phenomenal. Originally the set was designed by Mark Walters. I can't wait to see what he has lined up at the Palladium this year for Robin Hood. As soon as the Orchestra of Six bursts into action, we're greeted by Gary Hines' Neverland scores as the show opens to Tink Without the Bell. It's here that we're also introduced to Peter, which uses the twins effects Flying Without String system, and also the nursery scene. Tink, played by Billy Kay, was easily the best story lead in this production. Her vocals shined amongst the others and was a lovable character. Crossroads this year have made the perfect script for Tinks, which really makes the characters shine. Hats off to Billy Kay for bringing this character to life. Having seen many Peter Pans from Crossroads, the story is very familiar from before. Peter, played by Noah, was a fit-in Peter, not really used much in this production. Wendy, played by Rihanna Chesterman, I personally didn't really warm to her as a Wendy, but she wasn't really used in this production like Peter, and both have nice vocals. Kudos to the little lad, Stanley Joe Catley, who was playing Michael Darling. He belted out his lines like a pro, and Kyan Hughes was a suitable Harry. Right, this production is all about the stars, and let's talk about the one that shines brightest, which of course is the Mr. Matt Slack, who's playing Mr. Smee. Having a large input into the script in Birmingham, it's clear that he's given him and Andrew Ryan the biggest parts this year, and both shine so well. It's so nice to see Andrew Ryan being used more in this production to prior years. Matt's a pro, there's not much more to say. In this production, we see an awesome flag routine, which is used to tell a story to the audience, of course, with a bit of a love twist as well. This routine was executed to perfection. It's no wonder he's already been rebooked for his 11th year next year as Robin Hood. Matt and Andrew do this very clever routine with the Can-Can song, celebrating 125 years of the Birmingham Hippodrome and all the productions that have been staged. That routine was very clever, however it's kind of one of those things that we've already seen at the Palladium for many years with Mr. Gary Wilmot. We see his impression shine towards the end of Act 2 in a rendition of I Will Walk 100 Miles, which went down a treat. Although at times it feels like Mac's routines are slightly worn and becoming stale, I wonder if Crossroads will move him to other venues in the coming years. It's not just Matt's routines though, his one-liners and physical comedy actually gets some of the biggest laughs. The way he walks onto stage and talks to the audience, it's truly a delight to watch. Andrew Ryan goes, "Well, we've met everyone, who else could you want?" with the audience screaming back, "Matt Slack." I think that says it all. This year we don't get any strictly routine or mashed up songs to make a story. I understand this though, as new routines have to be created to keep it fresh, and I'm 100% sure we'll see these routines in the future with a little twist. I have to say, I don't feel like this was Matt's strongest year if I'm honest, and in terms of belly laughs, they definitely died down this year. However, I applaud Matt Slack for keeping his material fresh, but also get anxious at the fact that somehow next year he's going to have to top this, which is simply not possible, and I'm not sure how he'll keep doing it. However, with some new stars comes new routines, and I'm pretty sure next year we'll be getting some new talent. Or I hope so. At times I noticed similar sayings or replies from Matt, and sometimes felt like the audience almost knew what was coming next. Andrew Ryan this year shines the brightest, with Matt being his mother, Miss Sylvia Smee, joining in with his Can-Can song and having some great routines with the audience, and of course trying to find his or hers future husband. Congrats to Andrew Ryan for the belter of the performance he did, and I hope to see him back at the Hippodrome next year. It's so refreshing to see him in a bigger role. In previous years it's felt like the Matt Slack show, but this year felt more equal, which some will like and some will prefer more antics from Matt. I'm in the middle. Andrew's costumes, a lot being Julian's last year, were more lavish than a James frock, and certainly worked well. However, a lot were transferred from the Palladium. It's always nice to see original frocks, and this year there weren't many of them. He also performed I Am What I Am, which was done at the Palladium last year with Rob Mage. It got a massive round of applause in Brum, but I felt it worked better at the Palladium and didn't necessarily need to be in this show. But let me tell you, Andrew and Matt were the stars of this show, and more of that next year please. Danny Mack as Captain Hook was a treat to watch and relished in his evil performance, by far the best Hook I've seen this year out of 3 Peter Pans. He was able to break down and throw in a bit of comedy, commenting on how expensive the ice creams were and how they call him a villain. It was simply a 5-star performance by Mr. Mack. Then at the top of the bill was this morning's sofa star Alison Hammond, who had a much smaller role than last year as Spirit of the Beans. She's obviously the highest paid with arguably the least amount to do, which was a shame. I missed the dance off between her and Matt last year, but I understand that they can't use the same routines. This is the trouble when Crossroads bring back the same stars. It's so hard for writers and Matt Slack to top last year's with the same top of the bill, and I think that's the reason why Alison doesn't really shine like last year. And if I'm honest, this production didn't really need her, and for the price, I think Crossroads could have got more stars to fill the poster. Shame. It's unlikely that she will return next year, which will be nice for some new, fresh stars, which I think is how Panto should be. Have the one returning comic of Matt Slack, but keep the top of the bill different every year. However, when she is on the stage, she does have a lot of energy, and her entrance is fantastic. Alongside that, the Top of the Pops routine was a nice little addition. The twins' effects are great in this production, with the crocodile at the start of Act 1, which looked fantastic. However, didn't come out much over the audience, and definitely needed more time on the stage. And at the end of Act 1, a flying car from the twins, which makes a change for this production, as last year at the Palladium, they didn't have this car. It really was a true bit of magic. With the headlights beaming and the number plate Panto, it was absolutely fantastic, and with Matt Slack waving to everyone down below in the stalls. Whilst feeling familiar at times, this production is one of the best in the country. Matt is a pro, Birmingham loving, and his routines are beyond flourished. Well done to Andrew Ryan, Matt Slack and Danny Mac for a brilliant, superb performance. I can't wait to see Matt Slack next year. As long as he keeps new routines and doesn't get too comfy and stale with the routines, then I'm sure he'll keep getting rebooked. It's a 4-star review from Birmingham this year with dazzling sets, Matt Slack, Andrew Ryan, Billy Kay and Danny Mac shining, but unfortunately the top of the bill, Alison Hammond, doesn't get much time on stage, especially with a high fee I'm sure Crossroads are paying her. To be honest, her part as the Magical Mermaid doesn't really fit into the plot, and I think this is a problem for Peter Pan's stage across the UK for Crossroads. It's a bit of a difficult pantomime at times, hence potentially there's only been one stage next year. Matt Slack has already been rebooked for next year for Robin Hood. There's no doubt in my mind that if you go to this production, you'll have a fantastic night or afternoon out. You can book tickets at www.birminghamhippodrome.com.